This is the plaintiff, Irie Thompson. She says she and the defendant have been very good friends for close to 20 years, and they went to Disney World together in 2010. They agreed to split all the costs. The defendant never paid her back for the money she laid out, and now they've had a falling out. She never wanted things to come to this, a lawsuit. But hey, money is money, and she wants the $2,454 she's owed. This is the defendant, Angela Stuckey. She says the plaintiff got into a domestic beef with a boyfriend and had nowhere to live, so she took her in. She also watched her baby for free, and now the woman's claiming she owes her money? The woman took her to Disney as a thank you and is now trying to sue her for it here and now? How low can you go? She's accused of being goofy.
All parties, please raise your right hand. You see it? Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Irie Thompson? Irie Thompson, you are suing Angela Stuckey for $2,454 that you say she owes you. What's going on?
Okay, the defendant and I have been friends, even I would say very close. Someone who I consider as close as a sister. She's my daughter's godmother. In October of 2010, she went on a trip with us to Florida, her and her son. I absorbed some of the expense simply because I knew she didn't really have the money. We agreed that she was going to pay $800 for the trip. The defendant and I, Angela Stuckey. That at which time she says she'll be able to pay me in October for the trip to Florida for her son and her. Needless to say, I would want to say about 3 weeks later, after we came back from Florida, I got in an issue with my kid's father. I called her up and I asked her, could me and Sanaya, which is her goddaughter, stay at your house? She said, no problem. The very first night I arrived there, I said, Angela, how much do you want to charge me for staying here? She said, no problem. You're like my friend, nothing. She was kind of like taken back that I asked her that. I'm not a freeloading type of a person. So I said, you know what, Angela, I'll buy groceries here and there, whatever have you. Gracious at the fact that she let me and my child in, and she watched my child.
How long did you live there?
For about, I want to say 14 weeks.
14 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
12 to 14 weeks. And she watched your child?
She watched my child, which is her goddaughter.
Wait, I know, but I got godchildren. I ain't going to watch them every day for 14 weeks. I'm going to tell you that right now. But she watched your child every day? Like you went to work and she's the one who watched your child.
Correct.
Did you pay her for that?
No, because she didn't want me to pay her.
Okay.
She said this is her godchild. Okay. She was happy at the fact that the child was there with her. She worked from home.
Okay. I know. It's not that I don't hear you. I just don't know how that would mean that she would love to take care of a child 14 weeks.
No, I wouldn't expect that. She never discussed any form of me paying her to watch her godchild.
So then what happened?
So when I found my own place, I moved out, remained friends, everything was good. I needed some work done in my basement. Her boyfriend is like, he does that type of a work. So I said to her, I called her up in the summer of last year. And I said to her, Angela, I'm going to pay Leroy to do the contracting work. You owe me money. I'm giving her a proposition. Why don't we subtract that and I pay him the balance and we call it fair and square? I stopped hearing from Angela. I didn't hear nothing more.
What did she say on the phone that day?
She was like, well, I'm getting ready to go to work. It wasn't a yes or a no. More like I'm going to ask him, see what he say. She never responded back to me. She stopped speaking to me. I'm wondering why. She's close to me like a sister.
Okay, I have a theory.
Mm-hmm.
My theory is that you stayed in her house 12 to 14 weeks and had her watch your kid, and she sort of maybe thought that just like she wouldn't take money from you, that you would sort of think that that was payment and maybe not take money from her.
No, because I'm always bailing her out. Even while I was there, Your Honor, she got an eviction notice. She borrowed money from me. I went ahead. I gave her the money so she could keep her apartment. I'm always helping Angela, vice versa.
But she's supposed to pay you that money back too?
I would think so. It was a loan.
Well, tell me about it. That's part of what you're suing for. The $800 for Disney. You're also suing for $1,000 for rent.
Right. She told me she would pay it back to me around income tax. Around income tax, Nothing. Haven't said a word.
Have you been calling her and she wasn't calling you back?
I was calling her. I was
And she was
texting
ignoring
her
you?
about the cell phone. I didn't even bother about the money that she owed me. I just didn't bother.
What's
to
a
think.
cell phone?
While I was staying in her apartment, she asked me, could I do her a favor to take a cell phone out in my name for her son? Okay? I went ahead. I did
you the
just
son?
that.
How old is he?
At the time, he was like 14 years old. Okay? The cell phone bill has never been paid on time. Always disconnected. I even got a letter stating that they're going to ruin my credit, send it to the credit bureaus for late payment and stuff like that. To date, as we speak right now, she owes $150.08 on the bill. Okay? I've called her several times about the bill. I've texted her. Even when we wasn't speaking, I would text her on her job phone to let her know the bill is due. I didn't even bother her about the trip. I didn't bother about the loan. I didn't bother her about any of the above.
Do you have your phone?
Yes, I do.
Did you have an accident?
Yes, I did.
What
I had
happened?
surgery on my hand and my knee.
But from an accident?
Yeah.
It's off. You need it.
Oh, I need you to put it on. I want to see the text you're talking about. Let me hear from you what's going on while you're looking for that.
Okay, first of all, with the cell phone was a gift for Christmas. It was a gift from her to my son.
Come on up, son. Was the cell phone a gift for you for Christmas?
Yes.
Did she ever tell you have to pay me back, or did your mom ever say you got to put the money together to pay her back, or?
No, Irie told me it was a gift. Like, we had an agreement if I did good in school that she would buy me a phone, and that was the gift. Like, if I did good.
Wait, in advance
I
to me, or you already had
Yeah.
done well?
Nah,
First
it
of all,
was
you did
advance.
well, not good. Okay.
Well, I did well.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Go on.
well. Well, it was advance. Like, if I did
In
well.
advance. Well,
in
did you do your part of the bargain?
No.
Yes.
No.
Sorry.
Listen to her.
Did I say
okay. Did you get good grades?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Why is she saying no?
These litigants had their 20-year friendship blow up over a trip to Disney World. The plaintiff says the defendant never paid her share, and we're talking more than $2,400. But the defendant says she did all sorts of things for the plaintiff, so they're even. Let's listen.
How do you know what his grades are?
Because one of the last conversations that Angela and I had,
She was complaining. Don't tell. I
she
don't
was
want to expose
complaining
his
about
grades.
how bad
Yes,
he's
don't make him
doing
feel
in
bad.
school.
All right. All right.
Well.
So, go on.
Yeah, so, like, that's what happened. She told me she would buy me the phone if I did good in school.
Okay. All right.
Okay, besides that, getting to the real situation on hand, is that she lived with me more than 14 weeks, and she said it was 8 months she stayed there.
That's a lot.
It was 8 months.
Listen. Your lips cannot open again
Okay.
unless you are a
Sorry.
mouth breather.
No problem.
Okay.
Keep going.
And I watched her child, like she said. I babysit the morning, the night. You know, she worked.
Is it true that when she would say to you, do you want money for rent, or do you?
She never offered me anything. She never offered me no money for rent.
Did you ever ask her for money for rent?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Did you ever ask her for money for watching your goddaughter?
What happened was that she said to me, Angela, don't worry. Her mother had passed away. She said she was getting some insurance money. Don't worry, we're going to take a trip to Disney World. So we went to Disney World, me, her, my son.
Did you agree to pay $800 for the Disney trip?
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Did she loan you $1,000 to pay the rent while she was living there?
No, she did loan me $1,000 before and I repaid her, but it wasn't during the time when she was living in my house. I didn't have no eviction notice during the time when she was there, because I'm quite sure she would have been worried and ran out already. No.
What happened? You two were so close that you were actually the godmother of her daughter. Mm-hmm. And so what happened? If you don't owe her this money, why does she wake up one day and just pick you?
You have to ask her that question.
I did. She says because you owe it. Now I want to hear from you. What reasoning do you have that's different than that?
I think she sold her house and she needed some help to just pay off whatever money she owed on the house.
Okay. You have promissory notes saying she's going to pay you back?
Verbally.
No. Do you even know what a promissory note is? Verbal.
Like she would continuously
No, a
give
promissory note is a piece of paper that proves I'm like, oh, well, this case is over. Come on, hand it over.
She would always say, I'm going to pay you back. She's told many of my friends at my baby shower. She discussed
Do you have any witnesses?
Yeah, my witnesses
Okay,
right here.
come on up, please. Talk to me.
Yeah, my name is Yvonne Miller. We was having our baby shower because our son godmother, and she got an invitation, and my name was, with phone number was on the invitation who to contact. She called me, and she was telling me that she and Ari doesn't speak that anymore because she owe her some money, and she's gonna come to the baby shower, and don't let Ari know. and she was gonna bring the macaroni and cheese and the potato salad. And she was watching Sinaya, and Irie didn't give her any money to take care of Sinaya. And I turned to her and tell her on the phone, "You's a baby godmother. You shouldn't expect to have want any money from Irie. You's like the child mother." So she told me, "Don't tell Irie anything." So she was coming to the shower
To surprise her.
To surprise her.
And how did that go?
And then she showed up with nothing.
No macaroni and cheese.
No macaroni and cheese. No potato salad. She showed up with nothing.
When you get a text, and yes, there are instances where you're texting back and forth. When you get a text that says this long tirade in capital letters about how she's been sitting by idly for 2 years, waiting for you to pay this money, and hearing you patronize her, telling her you're gonna, but then you don't, and blah, 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 when she's going on and on and on like that, why isn't there a text back from you saying to her, "What are you talking about?"
Well, after that text message, I never spoke to her again because she started to call my job.
What about her testimony where she's saying that you called her and said she's not talking to me because I owe her money, I want to surprise her?
No. I told her, I did call and I told her I was coming to the baby shower. It wasn't no non-texting because I received the invitation with Irie's writing on it, so inviting me to the shower. So
Right.
I'm not sure.
And when you called her, did you say to her, "Don't tell Irie I'm coming"?
No,
because
why
we
would I
haven't
say
talked
that?
to
She
each
sent me an invitation personally. I had an invitation.
Did you say to her, "Don't tell Irie I'm coming because I owe her some money. She's mad at me. I want to surprise."
No, why would I
Did you
say
say
that?
you'd bring the macaroni and cheese?
Yes, I did.
And did you?
I did.
Yo, you did.
And I didn't bring it. I'm gonna tell you why.
No, I don't want to know. I was kidding. I was kidding about that part. I don't really need to know why.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you sue your best friend over $2,000?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay, you know what? That's a fair, honest reaction.
Depending on the situation, I guess.
Would you?
I would definitely. If it's that much money on the line, I would definitely do it. Even though we had a friendship, it's over.
Fair enough.
No, sir. I don't think I could do it.
Why? Hey, suppose that your best friend screwed you over.
Friends come before money, and
$5,000. $10,000?
$10,000. You got the line right there.
Your argument just blew up there, going inside the courtroom.
So then, when she says that she had a full conversation with you about money that you owed her, she's just making that up?
She's making that up. I never spoke to her about anything like that. And like I said, I didn't bring the macaroni and cheese because I bought a big gift for her, which was I had to bring it from Brooklyn all the way to the Bronx on a train. And it was a car seat, so it was nothing else for me to carry. And my child also came, and my son came, and my daughter.
If I were you, I would worry a little less about how it looks to not bring macaroni and cheese and a little more about whether or not the judge is going to believe you on whether you owe this money. I want to say a couple things. First of all, I believe you owe the money. I don't think it's a coincidence that there's somebody willing to come in here and testify in front of me that you actually said that on the phone. I don't think it's a coincidence that you didn't respond when she had that tirade. And when I look at that text from her, all frustrated because you're ignoring her calls and her saying, "I sat back here and I did this," and you don't even respond and say, "What are you talking about? That never happened." The silence roars. It roars. Okay? Which, if I'm right, think about it. Why would someone in your position deny it? And I think that the reason why is because you can't believe she's taking it this far and doesn't just let it ride after living in your house rent-free and you watching her daughter. So really what should have happened is when she said, "What can I pay you in rent?" or if she didn't offer it, what I would say to her is, "Listen, I know I owe you $1,800. If you're going to live here more than a few weeks, maybe we could work something out." And then everything would have been behind the two of you. Well, I don't know why you're nodding. Why are you nodding? Because in the end, if you think that's what should have happened, then why are you here? You see? You see? I only have one issue in front of me, which is, legally speaking, would she be entitled to this money? If, in fact, I believe that it was a loan, she's entitled to the money. It's not morally speaking. This is not moral court. I don't sit here and say, "I cannot believe the nerve of this lady," because I can't offset your time and rent in your house because you didn't. In other words, if there was no legal obligation for her to pay you rent or pay you for babysitting, I can't pretend there was and offset it. That's like something you two should have done. And when you don't, I just have to rule on the case in front of me. But that's what should have happened. So you don't feel bitter and abused like you obviously feel at this point, that she ended up being a pretty lousy friend. If she can take up space in your house and you watching her kid every day for her and then turn around and actually expect her to pay the $1,800. I get you, but you can't lie about it. Have me believe you because I'm too smart for that. And then have me not do what the law requires me to do. As for the phone, I find that it was a gift to him. But as for everything else, I find in favor of the plaintiff, and therefore I'm deducting that phone that you were suing for, and it's $2,305. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Defendant coming out of the courtroom first right here. Difficult case. Come on in here. What's your reaction to this? At least you're giggling. I don't know why. What are you
Well, she
thinking?
got what she wanted, so I guess she's happy.
Is this 25-year friendship over?
I really have no idea.
Yes, it is.
How do you know? How do you know? I'm asking her. It's her
Because the
friendship.
lady is frustrated because none of us wanted to sit down and watch her child. Like, we're not doing that. It was an infant. My mom had
1 second.
it. Like,
Do you want the friendship to be over?
It's up to her.
let's go.
We've been friends for a very long time. So
Okay,
it's up to her.
come on out. You've been friends for a very long time. She just said here, so it's up to you. What's the status of your friendship?
Well, I love her like a sister, but certain things you just realize within yourself that a person doesn't have any conscience, and it shocks me that she would come here to court and lie because she actually went to Disney World before I actually stayed
All right.
at her house.
What's going to happen when you leave here? She's out there somewhere, you're here. Who's going to reach out to whom, and what's going to happen?
I tried to reach out to her. And she's the one who stopped speaking to me. I didn't stop speaking to her. 2 different times she stopped speaking to me. Every time I asked her for the money, she stopped speaking to me.
Okay, this is such a good example that when you loan a friend money or you borrow money from somebody, a friend, you got to get something in writing, even if it's a confirming email. Friendships get destroyed probably as much by this as anything else. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on their way into the courtroom right now.